Hello everybody, welcome to the DrupalCamp Poland and to my session as well. Thanks for coming here. I am Sharique Ahmed Farooqui and I am actually based from India, but currently living in Berlin from past 3 years. So I have total 20 years of experience. Out of that is from past around 15 years I am working fully in the Drupal earlier as a developer, now as an architect. And I am maintaining of the many modules. UI styles and read-only mode are my recent most active contribution. And I also contribute patches to a lot of other modules as well, and also maintaining some modules with the other people in the community. I also work for the Acquia earlier. And yeah, so today I am giving. Okay, I am giving overview about the UI suite, what is UI suite and why it is, how it can help you when building a low-code platform sites with them. So, you know very well that the technology landscape is changing very fast. Now these days a lot of things are coming and giving tough competition with the Drupal. The low-code platforms are one of them. These platforms are very good for building small size, mini sites like campaign site or product sites without much technical effort. Also, even the people with non-technical or non-CMS background can easily log into tool, create a website, because it has a lot of predefined templates. It has very easy to use drag and drop interface. You can just take up a component like card or accordion, just drop into your canvas on the page, and you can use it with very easily, and you get the same preview, actual preview, how a page will actually look like while you are editing the page. So the advantages of this is that, as I already mentioned, a lot of predefined components come up with that. And it's very easy for non-technical marketing and manager level people who don't have background in the software development and also don't have any experience with the CMS. They can easily pick up these kind of tools. This also has some disadvantages. It is good, very suitable for the small sites, like I said, product mini site or campaign site. And there are some very good example, like Wix.com is one of the example which is very popular, that people are a lot of using a lot. But it is not suitable for the site which has a lot of contents, like large structured contents also not suitable for the website which have the structured content. So Drupal is a very good CMS. We are all using here, we love it, that's why we are here. And so the biggest advantage of Drupal is it's very good for structured content and also very good for the very large sites, like thousands or millions of the pages. It's very good, which is very organized, and we can easily search and maintain those pages. Okay. So challenges with the Drupal is it has a steep learning curve, and like a traditional CMS, it has a high code platform. Like when I wanted to build a plugin, I want to create a new components, I have to first create either as a paragraph or block type, then I have to enable on the respective components where I want to allow, like for example, I want to allow card component in the articles. So I have to enable those paragraph or block type reference into those sections. And page preview, like we can use the layout builder to drag and drop functionality, but it's not very good. It's also, the preview is doesn't look like as a real page. And we know with the Drupal, we has a lot of flexibility. It's open source. It has large collection of modules, while the low-code platforms don't have those modules. And the maintenance is complex because on the low-code platform, like for example Wix, the end user who own the site don't need to do much maintenance. It's automatically taken care by the hosting provider. So there are some differences. So Drupal is working on that to catch up with those latest trends. Like we started using have the latest feature like single directory components, which is for one step towards that direction. Once we define the component, we can reuse at multiple places. But still with the single directory component, we define our component in our theme. If you wanted to use it at multiple places, we need to, for example, I wanted to use card component in the article as well as the blog content type or product content type. I have to still do write code and still do need to do update the theme files. So it with the UI suite modules, it reduces some dependency. It will make it much faster. So at the moment, if you see here, for the simple website, we can site is buildable. Buildable means we can with almost no coding, we can go to the create content type, we can modify the display, and all those things we can do easily without much technical knowledge. For display also we can do that with the display modes and display layout builders. We can easily create different kind of display with little code. When we go to the medium sites, it displays a lot of complexity, because then when in medium size websites, the display, a lot of components have a different display, a lot of scenarios, a lot of things have different settings, different components, different use cases. So all those need to be covered. So a lot of container structure we need to do, and also business logic in the front end we need to implement sometimes. And for the complex sites like large websites with have many different integration in the background, of course for that we need to do custom implementation. For example, the partial content is in the Drupal, but for the if we are integrating Magento or we are integrating with the Salesforce where some data is campaign data that is coming from, for all those we need to implement the custom codes, but that got into the complex. So we are not focusing on the complex side for that. So let's take a scenario. I am an individual developer or a small agency. I want to build a website for the DrupalCamp. What I will do? I will take a contract theme, or I will take a custom theme that we are using in a company that we are using for all the customers. I will take up that theme, create a sub theme, and customize it to match to the requirement of the DrupalCamp website. So here, and then I need to create the content structure, and for the theming the individual element like art, speakers, sessions, and other things, informations. I need to theme, customize, and write little or more code. For theming partly I need to write a lot more code, but for there is not much business logic in this site, so I don't need to do much thing. Another scenario that we can use, like let's say I build a website for, let's say I build a website for 2024 DrupalCamp Poland, and now I wanted to build site. I have some small differences. Let's say on the speaker page design, I need to change a little bit in design. So what I have to do here, I have to update the code of theme. Okay, and then I also need to maybe update the content structure. The content, based on the content structure, I also need to update the theme as well. I cannot just go and set the setting. I cannot do it easily like that. So it's taking a lot of time. And this time is, as we know, time is money. So we need, since it is like a free project or not, so we are not a revenue project. So we want to do as quickly as possible. And also the customer, whenever we wanted to build a site for the customer, they wanted to have as quick as possible. Okay. So with the UI sheet, what it helps us is to reduce our time in the building the display. Also, the business save time on the building the display for the medium and the sites. So it provides us to bridge the gap between the front end and the back end. Okay. So what is UI suite? UI suite is a comprehensive suite of modules which allow us to build sites faster. So there are the key elements if you see here. The first one is the UI patterns. What UI pattern does is, it takes the HTC component and allow us to map our display modes with the components, so that we don't have to write for each display content type or paragraph type. We don't need to go to code, write to code to map theme with the components. We just can do this with the display mode. I will show the shortly. I will give the example of that. And other second part is that UI styles. So UI style is collection of classes like margin padding classes, which I can use anywhere, okay, wherever I want to apply. Okay, so that I can, that come with this. So this is enabled. It can be used a lot of places. Okay, and then come with the UI skins. So UI skin is a, you see here, UI skin allows developers to define CSS variable and themes. So let's say, for example, I have a header color blue. I wanted to change the header color blue to a different variation of blue. So for that, I need to go into the code and change the color. But what with possibly with the UI skin is that I can just define, go to the theme setting and just can change this primary color or secondary color, whatever it is. Okay, and UI icon is simplified version of an API that's in core with the Drupal 11.1. So it allows to define icons in a simple YML format. At the moment we have a lot of different modules for like bootstrap icon, font awesome icon, and different icons. So it provides a one API that we can use for all type of sources. And UI example is give the example pages, allow us to generate the example pages. And there are already some themes that are already implemented, like existing frameworks, Bootstrap and Daisy material. That okay. So I just wanted to give a overview how it UI patterns work. So if let me share my screen here. So if you see my site, okay. So UI pattern also has a lot of some modules, like for example, if one to apply a pattern to view and display blocks or other place. So I wanted to give overview here. If you see here, this is the article display type what I have done here, and let me show you first here. So
can you get the microphone a little bit closer?
My components?
Microphone, because we don't hear you. They can't hear you.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so what I am doing here, I am using the Bootstrap card component to the teaser home page for list view. So what I have done here, let me go to site and go structure. I am views. And the views where this is the front page view. So if you here, I am using this teaser display. So in this teaser display, what I have done here, I have used create a field group. So there is a module pattern field group which allows us to map a component to the field group. So if you see, if I expand here, so this is the card. So I have card component and I have selected the variant here. So I select the horizontal variant, and also I wanted to, before going into detail of all the fields, I wanted to give the kind of overview here for the card. As you see here, the Bootstrap card. So in Bootstrap, there are the card image, card title, and body and links, okay, or footer. So these are the fields. So this is defined in the YML format. You know, you all know the SDC, single directory component. Yeah. So what is done here in the, so I'm using here UI suite Bootstrap theme. So where all the components that is defined in the Bootstrap design framework that is implemented as HDC component. So all those components with the I enable the UI pattern module and also some modules, I get all these options here. So all these options are you see here. So like this is the image field. If I wanted to use body for the image field, I can also do that. Okay. So that is also possible. So if you want to revert, that is also possible. So this is the image field, this is the header field. I am using the title here for the header, and then content as you know, body and the footer. Yeah. Field groups, and there are some additional properties that we have here, like if image position, if I want to show the image top or bottom. If you see here, when there is gap here, image is on the top, or if I change the bottom, then it will come to the bottom. Similarly, I can add some other additional attributes which you can see here. Okay. So this is how I updated the teaser display, and it's now coming fine. So let's say if I wanted to change the background color, okay, let's say background color of the header. So I can add additional classes. Let's say, let's go to the bootstrap, and what is the background color options here, or color option. Okay, so what is the class? Color info. Okay. Oh, these are the variables defined here. Okay, what I need here is the class. Okay, text primary, BG primary, subtitle. Okay, so I take the class here. And I see that the color association. So we don't need to write the CSS or you need to do the code. We just need to know the particular framework or whatever we implement on all the classes in that, which we can easily do with the popular framework like Bootstrap and other things. You can just go to website and there pick up the class and just apply that. So it will effect. So it saves a lot of time, and yeah. And okay, and also one more possibility is that we can apply to individual part also, like you see here. So if I go to the full display, here I change the button display. So what I am doing here, you see the field text, renders entity, and I change the display mode as a button. So what I have done here, I go to taxonomy. Manage display. So here I am using the button component, and I set up the certain all the properties so it looks like the button. Okay. So these are the already defined frameworks that we can use, and we easily save a lot of time here. And I also wanted to show you a demo of like layout builder as well. Layout. So if I go to add section here, if you see scroll down here, you will see this card. So when I add the card option, okay, I say the default, or if I say what. So if you see here, all this block, so each block represents a different, so it becomes layout. Card is now a layout, available as a layout. Okay. And a simple thing is that if you want to define a new component, we just need to define a HTC component and YML file for pattern, and it is also available here. So I want to show one example here. Let me open the code. So where is the cursor? So I have created a sub theme here. In here, I just define one HTC component. That's a very basic component. Nothing special about here. And I just enabled this theme. I did not define any properties. So if I go here and if I scroll down here, you will see this component is also available. So it's so we can just need to define the component and it will be available. So it saves a lot of time. We don't need to mapping. We don't need to enable the layout. We don't need to define any additional things here. So it saves a lot of time. Now let's move back to. Okay. So any questions so far? And sorry for the ugly local site. I just quickly set up this for the demo. Okay. So let's dive into the detail of the UI pattern. So UI pattern has some sub-modules. So UI pattern module blocks, when we enable it, it allows to configure the display of block using pattern. Similarly, if we enable UI pattern layout, we can use all the patterns components as a layout, as we see in the right now with the example. Similarly, when we enable the UI field formatter, we can apply a pattern to a field formatter. For example, if I want to format a simple link as a button, I can do that with the display configuration. Okay, and view. We can also use pattern in the views. Okay, so it's save a lot of time, like mapping. If you wanted to, and if we compare it to the traditional theming, even with the HTC, I need to apply a card component to a display. I need to create a template. I need to define a theme. And similarly, if I want to define a component as a layout, I need to define another YML file for the layout in the layout specific format. Okay, so this is how it saves time. And our front end and back end is separate. The front end guy focus on the creating components. They don't need to work on they don't need to go into detail of the content structure. They just implement the front end as per the design, and the site builder or backend developer take care of the mapping everything there. And UI styles. So UI style is a set of classes. I did not show you the classes. Let me show you as well. So let's edit a section. So these are the properties of the components. But if you go, these are the styles, section styles. For example, I want to change the background color. So these are the options available. You can see the preview here, right here. Okay, if I want to. So all those properties have the opacity is also option here based on the classes. So similarly, border, all this kind of border, what kind of border I wanted to have, top, bottom, left. This is all, you can see the preview here before applying. So we don't need too much. And also border. So this a lot of all the other options like sizing, display, margin, padding, all the other things, all the options we see here. Okay. So this is our options coming from the UI styles. So these all our options also come whenever we enable UI style, like views, CK editor or UI style paragraph we enable. Is all those options, style options will be available there. Okay. UI skins. So UI skin is a configuration that allow to modify the theme settings. So let me go back to the website, and now let's go to the theme settings. Appearance. So this is the Bootstrap theme I am using. I have enabled Bootstrap. Okay. So the theme right now there is not much options here. All we see is dark and light. Okay, if I select the dark mode, save configuration. Now site is switched to the dark mode. Now all the colors, all the settings are text color, other defined colors are already applied. So I don't need to spend much time on the implementing. Otherwise, implementing a dark style is a very cumbersome task. I just need to toggle, and that's done. Okay. So UI suite theme. So at the moment, there are Bootstrap is very mature and ready to use. Other themes that are in development is Material, DG Suite, DSFR. DSFR is French government's design system. So that is implemented in the DSFR, and there's also one implementation for the US government's design system. That's also in the development. So these are the popular themes that's implemented, and these themes combine a lot of components in the Bootstrap. You see here that's most of the components are already implemented there in the theme. Okay, and you see how we can easily change the light and dark options. Other options will be also implemented because it's not complete yet with the. Okay. Let's see. So now if we come back to building a DrupalCamp site with UI suite, what I need to do? I need to pick up one UI suite theme, enable it, customize it to match based on the, like I can configure the colors, I configure the display. I clear the content structure. Now I don't need to theme all individual content type, paragraph type or block types. I just need to update the display modes with the patterns. I need to I select the layout, components, whatever they require from the library already themes, and that's implemented. So it saves a lot of time there. For the next camp, if I need to change the design, color, or I need to implement a new components, I just need to tell front-end developer to create a new components, and that's I need to apply. So it's also save a lot of time. So in the summary, how UI suite is helping us build sites faster, is separate and make the work of backend and front-end developer independent. No business logic in the themes, because if there is used to have a business logic in the theme, so it becomes complex to maintain, and also it becomes difficult to share between the multiple projects the theme if we have the business logic and themes. And now in the theme, what we will have is just a design system. We just need to use the design system, and component defined in a theme or module can be used settlement. For example, there is a requirement of a specific banner like hero banner or something, one particular project. I can create a new module where I define this component, and I can use it from there. I don't need to update the existing. I can keep it separate for a specific project. Component can be used as layout, so we don't need to define new layout, multiple layouts. So it saves a lot of time also. When you are using UI suites, small sites can be built with little or no front-end development. And these themes also have the automated integration, and the component like HTC with the storybook integration, HTC component can be tested independently. We don't need to have a complete Drupal setup to test those components. So this also help us faster. So individual components tested automatically independently, and so we don't need to work on spend much time on testing each time the component whenever we are implementing the same theme or same design in the new project. Agencies can extend the existing design system like UI suite theme, or they can implement their own and theme, their own design system based on the requirement. So they can save a lot of time. They can have a predefined set of components like card, teaser, accordion. These are the very common things. So it don't need to be implemented again and again. Just have a theme, create a sub theme out of it and use it. With the display builder, there is a new model. We know that the experience builder, this in development. This is a different approach. That's in the development. That's experimenting with it. So it's written in the simple JavaScript, while the experience builder is using React. So display builder will be very faster when it's ready to use for the project. So I am just give you some example videos how so if you see here they're using the card, was using the card, they inside the card, but they using different components. Okay. And this is a display. This is the preview of display builder, which is in development. The advantages of this new display builder is much faster, much more efficient. It don't have any dependency other than the vanilla JavaScript. Okay. So we are into that, but before we close, I wanted to show some more items. So if you go, where is the views? Okay. We were doing some changes in the view. So views I want to show here. So I want to show the UI style views integration. So it allows to customize the settings, all the styles like text color, text properties, italic. These will be applied here to the items. Yeah, like if you wanted to have the border radius. So this will apply to all the components, all the whole complete view. If you wanted to apply row here, then we need to switch to we need to switch to pattern. Okay. Now I selected the, let's say, card component here. So now here I can map also here all the values. Slots is like the content which will come here. So if I can select the field. Okay, and then these are the properties that's already defined, and let me add something. I had a so for example, I'm just doing two things here. So Page users field. Where is that? Something is auto attribute. Okay, I need to say. I need to look there. Okay. Yeah. I hope you got the idea what I'm trying to do here. Okay. Any question?
Thank you for the presentation. Good. I wanted to ask, all those parameters, properties that you have, like for text, for borders, or how to define. So do you add it so is it like a base that's provided by the module? Is it like classes added?
Yeah.
What's happening in the CSS?
Yes.
Is it provided by the module, or can you modify it?
Yeah, it's in the theme. So if you know the what component, so it's all defined. Components is defined here. So let's go to the card. This is the component, card component. You see your variants are defined here. Slots, like the content. So these are the slots coming here. Properties you know here. Okay, these are properties that are defined here. And so this is part of the, let's say, pattern. But all the margin padding classes, like UI styles classes, are defined here. UI styles. Sorry. If you go here, you see here. So let's go for color. Background color. You see here. So these are the options. So these are the class mapped to the primary, subtle, secondary. So all these classes are defined here.
Basically, this is like, for example, this is, I can see the name. So basically, this is supposed to work only with Bootstrap for like another. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the implementation of Bootstrap. So what are the options available defined in the Bootstrap framework are added to here. So if you are implementing custom themes, you can also implement. Or okay, I wanted to give only 3 color options. Primary, secondary, you can define here. So it's just all the CSS classes it will apply.
Also a question. Can you show the form where you put the data? I mean, when you have components, there is way to limit the number of that changes. I mean, for example, we have a user who we want to give him access to only change the colors. So there is ready to use where we can limit for some roles, for some users.
Sorry, I didn't get it. So what you want to understand, where we can give the options for alignment?
When you edit the display form, there is a lot of forms. For example, you can change the colors, and edit some rows and other stuff. And there is way to limit that form for some rows, and we only left, for example, field for colors only.
Yeah. Okay, let's go example page. So I think we were updating this one. So if I added the X section. So these are the properties, but below these property, actually these are the styles from the UI styles coming. So actually it should be separated. Hopefully it will be done soon. So these are all the UI styles that's coming here.
Yeah, the question was, can you set separate access for example, per role, or do you have permissions for those properties?
Okay. So for that, we don't. There is no option for it at the moment. But you can create a ticket. We will pick up.
Yeah. So if you have form, probably you can alter something for it.
And two more. I want to highlight. There is also. You see, you can also see the preview. Yeah. Preview. So these are all the components that is defined here, like accordion. See the samples. You can see the accordion sample. These you can see the options, and also with the variant. These are different variant. Okay. And similarly, if we go back to the UI component library, we can see the button. Where is the button? So these are the, you see all the button examples. So just when you enable the UI libraries, UI source libraries, model UI pattern model library, and UI style library, you will see the preview of all these styles. So it is much easier to understand how it will work. And this libraries. So this is UI style display. So you see all the classes, color, font sizes, all these classes that is defined in the theme. And yeah. Any more question? Thanks for your time. I hope you find it useful.